Hey guys, little bit of a surprise today. You may know that very soon, on the 26th to the 28th of this month in June, there will be the seven-figure seller summit finally again. Of course, we had our little bit input there as well, but that's not what it's about today. What I want to share, what I want to help here with, or what we want to help here with is I'm super happy to have Gary here. Gary is the organizer, the owner of the Seven-Figure Seller Summit, and we want to give it a little bit of a sneak peek. Gary promised to give 7 AI hacks out of the probably 100 or so something hacks that will come out 26 to 28. Target, of course, is, guys, if you like that, just sign up. There's even a free pass. There's an all-access pass. But with this, Gary, let me hand this over to you. Make a quick intro for the people who don't know you. Share a little bit what's the Seven-Figure Seller Summit, and well, go to the 7 hacks. I'm super excited to hear about them.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, Sebastian. It's great to be here. My name is Gary Huang. I'm the host of Seven Figure Seller Summit online. And the theme this year, what everybody is talking about, I mean, whether you're an Amazon seller or you're like a college professor or you're a politician, everyone's using AI, right? You're seeing all those like fake, political videos online, and you're seeing schools are getting changed. Like, professors are like, pulling their hair out because students are writing essays using ChatGPT. And, in the Amazon world right now, I see some people already jumping on the AI train and, they're separating themselves from the pack, right? You're creating these, Amazon listings at scale. There's some guys launching new products every single week, leveraging AI without hiring a lot more people. So I brought together about almost 20 of the top e-commerce Amazon sellers. These guys that are, I can't really call anybody an expert because literally this didn't exist just like, 7 months ago, right? So, but these guys are leading the way. So I wanted to share some of the hacks, some of the nuggets that I learned personally after, talking to all these guys today. So this is actually taken from the online event that we're gonna have June 26th, 27th, 28th, Seven Figure Seller Summit. Yeah.
Then
So
feel
should,
free, push them out.
okay. So I think number one thing is I think the biggest misconception with AI and ChatGPT is thinking there's like a perfect prompt because you see all those things online, like the top 100 best Amazon prompts, this, that, to me, that is just, and that's not the real thing. That's like people that are just scratching the surface of AI, like to really get AI ChatGPT to give you what you want, it's not going to be like a one-shot prompt. Okay, as Sebastian knows as well, you kind of have to go back and forth. It's almost like having a conversation with like your assistant, right? So you would tell him or her, I'm an Amazon seller, I'm selling these products. This is my target audience. And, I'm looking to optimize my listing here, the features, the benefits, and, these are the keywords I want to incorporate. And then you ask it to write the listing. But then like the first response, maybe it's like, B minus, it's okay, but maybe it's too salesy, maybe it's like too long, and then you have to go back. So I kind of call this like it's almost like a seesaw, like that game, the kids game on the playground, right? You kind of, you give ChatGPT something, it gives you something back, and then you go back and forth and back, and eventually it might take, several tries. It may take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 back and forths before you get what you want. So I think that's the number one thing. I'm calling it the seesaw method, with AI. It's not a one-shot thing. Forget about all those prompts, like, all that stuff. That's just marketing. I mean,
But
it's really
it's
about,
just like a
going
person,
back and
right?
forth.
You
Yeah.
answer back, you talk to the person, and then you'll see, hey, you get the next best answer. So it is
Yeah.
really like
Yeah.
talking to a person very often.
It is, so I think that's probably the number one. It's almost like a misconception. I want to debunk that
Sure.
myth. There's no such thing as the perfect prompt, one-shotting it. It's really going back and forth.
Good one.
Okay. So yeah, so I say that would be number one. I should we just like rapid
Yeah,
fire
just
go
go
through
through.
these, or do you want to?
Number
Okay.
two
So
comes.
I
Come
think,
on.
yeah. Okay. So number two is when I give it a prompt, I really want to give it like a thorough background. I don't want to just say, what, just ask a question. I really want to give it a background. Like, for example, if I'm, if I'm like writing like a new listing, I'll talk about, what we're selling, and I'll say I'm an Amazon seller. So I'll have like a prompt, I'm an Amazon seller of, for example, children's kites. Our target audience is this type of audience, where the price range is this, and then our features, our benefits. So you really want to also tell it the goal, like my goal is to optimize my product listing to increase my conversions, or to incorporate these additional keywords, right? Don't just, not give it any background. I find like a lot of people just try to give like a short prompt, but to me, like sometimes I'll also give an example. Like, this is an example of a very well written Amazon listing. And then I'll quote it. I'll do like triple quotes, and then I'll copy and paste a listing, right? So this way it knows what to expect, right? And then after that, I'll say, now write me write me an Amazon listing, based on the example above, so that way it knows what to expect, right? Because if you don't do that, it could come up with anything, and then you got to go like many times back and forth. So give it a thorough background. I think that is super important. Number two.
I think it's something like also you can tell us like, hey, you're a negotiator right now, or hey, listen, you are right now an expert in whatever patent writing, or you're an expert as an animal what is it, like an animal care specialist, so please write something about with the background that you're a specialist. Exactly, give him a background, not just prompt it, tell him exactly what to do.
I love what one of our speakers said, Chris Rawlings from Sophie Society. He says, you got to put a hat on the EA, right? So, put on like the copywriter hat, right? Put on the Amazon seller hat, or, put on the, I went to the museum today with my wife, and then, I was checking out like these art exhibits, like Henri Matisse. I don't know if you've heard of him. It's like, Picasso contemporary. I knew nothing about this guy, but I had ChatGPT on my phone. I'm like, tell me about Matisse, so, act as like an art curator or something. And then it can do it, so, so that's a great tip, from you as well, Sebastian. It's all part of the background, right?
I think that's
act as a certain persona.
That goes all to you. That's all your earnings. You're happy. Love it.
Yeah, because I know, like, so you spoke on it as well, so you dropped a lot of nuggets as well. So if there's anything that resonates with you, let me know. Okay, so let's keep going. I know our time is short, Sebastian. Let me get to number three. Okay, number three, I love what Mike Jackness does. He's founder of Ecom Crew. He has exited a number of seven-figure Amazon brands. I think he exited another business. He's doing something right. In his training, how to create a optimized Amazon listing in literally like 10 minutes time. What he did is he made a very iterative prompt. So what do I mean by iterative? Iterative means that you want ChatGPT to ask you questions about the product, right? So he said something like, I'm selling these types of toys, like plush animals. I want to write, best in class Amazon listing. I want you to ask me questions so that you can understand this product from all angles, from the product to the features, the events, to the price, to the advantages, to the negatives, blah, 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 blah. And then literally what ChatGPT did, it spat out like 20 questions about his product, just like line by line, all different angles, like some stuff you would never think of, right? And then after that,
fantastic.
Yeah. And then based on that, Mike, he answered them, live, right? And then after that, it came back with 7 more clarifying questions. I mean, like, where is ChatGPT coming from? I don't know, like, any human that can do that. I don't know about you, but you probably could do that because you're like an expert, but I don't know anybody that can do that. But based on that, it came out with like a really good Amazon product listing, like some stuff you didn't even consider, right? So, make it iterative. Ask ChatGPT to ask you questions, right? So, think of it as like a human being, right? What questions should I be asking, right? So I think that is a really great tip. Not many people have thought of that or even discovered that yet. From that's number 3.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Number 4, this is like a super hack. Like all of the top people that I know that are like, creating AI type of tools. And, I know like this Google engineer, like he's heavily involved in AI in the gaming industry. every single one of these people do it, and you do it as well, Sebastian, and I do it. This is like a big one that not many people talk about. You want to keep a prompts book. Okay, you literally want to keep like an Evernote or a OneNote or a Google Doc with all the prompts that you're using all the time, right? And Sebastian, I see that you do this as well. And then you also have like shortcut keys. So, I'm constantly selling that, that kite, right? So, every time when I prompt it for something new, I always give it the same background. So I just take it, I copy and paste it from my prompts book or my prompts file, right? So Sebastian, why don't you tell people, what you do? Because you have like a 55-page German prompts book, right?
Well, that was a presentation literally about it to say, hey, how do I build a brand, for example, from product ideas to finding products to whatever, of course, sourcing them, putting them into marketing, putting them into finding influencers, magazines, online shops, and so on and so on. And later on, also I went into it's like, hey, what other use case scenarios are there? Like, for example, building seller support cases. Now, and I think the example that you're referring to in there is that originally, maybe another hack, let's add this then as number 8. 8 is a lucky number, of course, to write, it's like, hey, whatever, please write a seller support case, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, in the future, I will call this SSC. And this is the problem, this da, 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 da. And you're, of course, later becoming on lazy, right? So you can even teach ChatGPT to say out of your book, and you start building an own book with ChatGPT out of it. Later you say AMZ, listing closed SSC. And that's the whole thing. So it knows it's supposed to write a nice, long seller support case. And by keeping those things, either you can show this to others, you can share the hacks with others, or you can get back in there and it's like, hey, how did I do this? So it makes very good sense to build your own, yourself a collection.
And it saves a lot of time.
Exactly.
Yeah, it saves a lot of time than having to type it all over again. So that's number 4 or number 8, right? Keep the prompts book. Okay. Next one, number 5 is the regenerate tool, right? The regenerate button. That button is your friend, right? Because many times, whether you're using ChatGPT or even if you're using a tool like Midjourney, right, to create images, sometimes it doesn't give you what you want your first try, but you click regenerate, it comes out with an entirely new response, right? Whether it's like a new listing, a new, seller support letter, or even creating new images, right? So, I was talking to one of the sellers, and he was creating an insert card design, right? And designing an insert card, like a graphic design in Midjourney, right? And then the one that he got was really nice. But I asked him, how long did it take for you to do this? Was it the first time? He's like, no, I clicked that button like 10 times before I got this one, right? You got to keep clicking that, right? Don't give up. Like, some people, what they do, like the rookie mistake is, I tried it once and, it wasn't all that. It's not for me, right? It's almost like, you're digging for gold. You got to keep digging until you hit it, right? Exactly. And some people, they give up. Maybe they're just like an inch away. They missed it, right? So you got to keep, you got to keep clicking the regenerate button. The regenerate button is your friend. That's a big one. Number 5.
Midjourney, I can definitely see this, because you're just like, okay, keep creating. How do you see this, for example, with ChatGPT? Now, it's spitting out an answer. Would you?
It spits out a different response every time.
Right.
Like if you ask it to write a letter, like click it once, and then you can click it again. It gives a different response. And then it will ask you, is this better or worse? Right. And or, if you don't want to only just click it, you can go back and you can modify your original prompt a little bit.
And that's
maybe you want to say,
would you hit the regenerate button, or would you say, hey, I read through this and hey, it's almost perfect. Please change this and that. When would you hit the regenerate button, and when would you say, hey, please change this and that?
If there's something really blatantly wrong, like let's say, I had some like customer testimonials, like some quotes in there, and then if it paraphrased it, I would say I would not click regenerate because it's off. I would say, no, please use the specific quotes in quotes and please rewrite it. Okay. In that case, if it's off, then I would point the mistake and I would say no, and then it would rewrite it, and then it would be aware of that, right? But if it's like almost there, if I'm looking for like, trying to come up with like, let's say like a poem or something like maybe like a YouTube video script, and it's like almost there, but hey, let's see what else you can do. It's like, it's almost like music, right? Like, like jazz performers, like they play the song like straight ahead the first time, and then they improvise, and then like someone like it goes again, and then ChatGPT every time it's literally it's different.
Or
It's
like
yeah,
with
two
the
people. If you and I input the same prompt into ChatGPT, we're gonna get different results, right? Some
or like
people
the
think that everybody's gonna be all the same. It's not. It's actually it's different.
yeah.
It's different. For everyone, every time it's different. So
Sorry
I
for
mean,
the
it is
interruption.
like an art and a science. There's no like hard fast rule. Like sometimes it's your gut. You got to follow what it tells you. You know.
Right.
So
Sorry for the interruption. Seems like there's probably on my side an internet delay. I always seems like I talk when you have a pause, and then all of a sudden, whoop! It's
yeah,
interconnected.
yeah. I think there's a
A
internet
little bit
issue,
of
but
a
yeah,
lag, I guess.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I've like the example we had in my presentation. All of a sudden it's like, hey, please don't put cosmetics ingredients into dog food. Um,
Right,
then
right,
you probably would not
right.
hit regenerate or tell the thing.
No, no, because if it's wrong or if it's off, you should tell
Right.
it that
Yeah.
it's off. And then I read somewhere if you point out the mistake to ChatGPT, it improves the response by like 20% because that way it knows like it was wrong,
Yeah.
right? Because like the thing is the weakness to ChatGPT is it will have hallucinations, so literally it's like if it doesn't know something, it's gonna make it up. So
Right.
you guys have to fact check everything. Don't assume ChatGPT is like, God or like something perfect because it's not,
You would
because
say
it's like,
actually you discovered it
yeah,
makes up answers.
yes, yes, it will
Awesome.
make stuff up. It will make stuff up because it's like a language model. So it's
Yeah.
trained to make things sound really good. In other words, it's like an amazing BSer,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you have to, you have to fact check, right?
Wow. Okay. Be aware of that. It can make things up and it may sell it to you like it's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. I literally spent hundreds and hundreds of hours and like several months time just like diving into this. So,
Yeah.
at least in my experience and the people I
Yeah.
talk to. So yeah, so that's number five. Let's
Yeah.
go to number six. I know you're doing like the hand signal, number six, I think, but most people are not aware of that.
I am aware
Okay,
of
number six.
that.
Yeah, number six. Don't limit yourself when you're doing AI. Don't limit yourself just to ChatGPT. Okay, so one of the things is there's also other AI tools out there.
Yeah.
One of our speakers, Brian Johnson, he actually uses Google Bard for some of his competitive analysis, right? Because Bard is actually, writing wise, it's not as eloquent as ChatGPT, but in terms of the online research and the speed and the accuracy, it
Right.
may be better. So if you want to do competitive research listings on your competitors, don't overlook Google Bard because Google Bard is catching up very quickly. And in some ways, it
Suggestion.
may be a little bit
You
better.
may need a
Yeah.
VPN. It's not available in Germany yet, but with a VPN it is. And then there's actually
Mm,
different opinions. Some people say like, yes, Google Bard better. Some of the others say ChatGPT. I think it would be
yeah.
definitely worth it exploring both. Absolutely.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So don't limit yourself to ChatGPT. Bard is good, and also Edge. I mean, like Google. I
Yeah.
mean, sorry, Microsoft. Bing on the Edge browser. That's good as well because it can go online. So if you don't pay for GPT-4, you can use Edge for free. I think you get like 30 queries a day. Just use that so that don't limit yourself. Okay.
Cool.
And I'll say number seven. I mean, there's so much more I could talk about. I think one really cool one is you can actually use ChatGPT to generate prompts for other tools. Like for example, for Midjourney, like Midjourney, you have to use Discord, and then you have to like come up with like the imagine et cetera. But coming up with a prompt for some people is difficult. At least for me. So you can actually tell ChatGPT to come up with a Midjourney prompt. There's like certain formula. There's like a formula for Midjourney prompt,
Right.
but you
Right.
can tell ChatGPT to do that. So that way you ask
For that you would
ChatGPT,
need
and
number
then
4, right? Or ChatGPT 4, I guess internet connection. Or no, would it know actually?
no, you don't need internet
Really?
connection. You just tell the the Midjourney formula, like it's
Right.
like it just it's like a subject, a location, the type of camera,
Yeah.
like the type of style, etc. And then
Nice.
this is the formula, and then based on that, then create 5 Midjourney prompts, and based on this subject. For example, the subject is a kite, for example, and then it will spit out 5 different Midjourney prompts, and then you can copy and paste that into Midjourney to use.
That's awesome.
So that's nice. Yeah, so that's another one.
That was number 7 already. So let me add
that was number 7. Yeah, I mean, I still have a lot more, but I know time is short, and you know, hopefully, if this is helpful for you guys, this is just, you know, the start, is the tip of the iceberg, because we have 3 full days of AI hacks, AI masterclasses from Sebastian, you know, from a lot of the top
better
e-commerce sellers, 7 figures. Yeah, well, I mean, everyone has their strengths. I think it's like, you know, team of superheroes like the Avengers, right? So Sebastian, you know, the sourcing hero, and you know, we have a lot of other, you know, AI heroes.
Is there somebody, here's a question, is somebody actually showing in those 3 days? That would be maybe a tricky question. Is somebody showing how we can program, put things together, make one of the AIs work together with other programs? Did we get that far? Do we have somebody speaking about it?
There's certain things that you can do that like automate. You know, there's certain Google Sheets, it syncs with ChatGPT. So
the Titans, they have a fantastic.
Yeah, Andrew Erickson does that. Yeah, and other people, other people like Anthony Lee. He's doing a lot of you know, automations using Make.com. So that's a tool like Zapier. So it can actually, you know, for example, like if you have one YouTube video, it can, you know, cut it up into, you know, Instagram posts, Facebook posts, Instagram Reels, TikToks, you know, stuff like that.
I'm excited about that. So what day?
Anthony Lee, I believe that is on day 1 growth, the 26th.
That's awesome.
So his stuff is really cool. You know, Chris Rawlings, he did like a full-on like email flow, including insert card, and also like how to generate, you know, emails, like, you know, based on news articles. You know, and have AI just, you know, there's like different tools that you can use to, you know, Google alerts to ChatGPT, and using a VA, leveraging a VA as well. I mean, I'm not saying that you should fire everybody, but I mean, like, you can expect your team to do more, right?
Yes.
I mean, maybe it's like, it's like, you know, one of the speakers said, it's like, you know, mountain biking, like an old school bike, maybe you can do 30 kilometers a day. But mountain biking with like an AI or like an e-bike, right? A battery powered bike, you can go 80 kilometers a day, right? So that's like with AI, you know, that can do so much more.
Give them better tools on their hand to succeed even more in their jobs. That's lovely. So guys, you've heard those 7 or 8 hacks right now here. There's going to be tons and tons and tons of them more. So 26th, 27th, 28th of June. So from the point of recording right now, it's in roughly about a week, or a little bit more than a week. We'll publish this here today. Sign up. Gary, where do they sign up? Either for A, the free access pass, or B, the all access pass?
You can get the free pass for a limited time at 7figuresellersummit.com.
Nice. And the all access? Same page.
All access is optional. If you like to upgrade, it unlocks all of the sessions. You have lifetime access. You'll get additional bonuses. You'll have like an additional live workshop in July as well, using AI led by Andrew Erickson. You can get that at the same URL. Just grab the free pass first, and then you can upgrade. And then we have some surprises for you guys as well if you do that.
Many of them for the all access pass, many of the speakers, they're giving extra bonuses out, which you don't get with the free pass. But they're worth gold nuggets.
I'm really twisting their arms, including Sebastian, to give something good. You know, I'm twisting the speaker's arms to get some extra value for you guys.
We're being tortured there, believe me. No, one thing to really also know is how long is that stuff available? I mean, should they be online, like live at the moment during those days? Tell a bit about how the concept.
Yeah, they should come on live, because I almost forgot. We're also doing a live AI hacks competition. So we're inviting many of the sellers to come on next week, Wednesday, the 21st. I believe it's 8 a.m. Eastern time. I think it's 2 p.m. BST London, if I'm getting the time conversion.
I think 6 hours, 7 hours later in Germany, 6 hours, I think London, right? Correct.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're doing a live AI hacks competition.
AI hacks, tons of AI presentations.
Competition,
more than 100
for free
hacks. Exactly. Watch it. Get to the Seven Figure Seller Summit. It's worth it. It's not the first time we're here. I
Right.
love it. We love to work together with Gary. I mean, he's putting out so much valuable content. Link, of course, is down here or there, wherever the video is right now being shown. Sign up, doesn't cost you anything, but upgrade to get even more bonuses, benefits, and everything. And Gary, thank you so much for giving, you know, already out a few of the hacks. I'm sure this is worth it for so many people.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I think right now, you know, it's like early adopters time right now. Only about 14% of the people in America are even using it. Most people don't know how to use it. So right now, if you're able to use it for your business, you're going to be way ahead of your competition.
Right.
But, you know, if you don't get on it, your competitors are going to get on the AI train and they could, you know, leave you behind in the dust. So I think right now is the time, guys. I mean, and we're going to cover everything. So, June 26th, 27th, 28th. Hope to see you guys
Sign
there.
up. Fantastic.
Yes.
Thanks so much, Gary.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sebastian.
All right.
Yes.
We'll see you on 26th, 27th, 28th.